Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together when we share news from local sources, from state sources, from national sources. We take a look at what you're up to, what you're doing, your questions, your ideas, your suggestions, all to try to have a more connected lifestyle here in Puerto Vallarta, our city of choice as a community of English-speaking locals. This is who we are, and that is what we do. It is a pleasure to get together with you, and today is no exception. It is Saturday, June 4th, and it was a great morning, and I think it still is a great morning here in Puerto Vallarta. I'm getting some mini weather updates from your whereabouts, and it's great to read you. As always, we welcome friends that are watching for the first time. If that is your case and you would like to let us know, please add the word new to your comment. That way we will be able to give you a nice little welcome to the cluster. And of course, if you have something truly important that you want to bring to our attention, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q to your comment. And that way we will try to get it online. Occasionally, I miss some Q marked comments. Please don't hold it against me. Occasionally, I get questions directly that have to do with things for which I may or may not have an answer, but I always encourage each and every one of you to trust each other and to trust these morning gatherings. Ultimately, many of you have much more knowledge about certain things than I do, and I always appreciate the fact that by sharing this information, we all become a little bit more knowledgeable. I'm going to address a very quick cue because it's right in front of me. Kathy wants to know how your shoulder is doing. My shoulder is doing great, as you know. Well, some of you may remember I fractured it back in January. And, you know, it's pretty much there. It moves up and down as it should. Now, I just itches sometimes, but I think I'm ready to arm wrestle someone. And if I'm not, I'm ready for a good massage. Today, as always, we have important news. We have some casual news. We have a couple of reminders of things that are coming up, and we might as well get started. There you go. Well, apparently daylight savings time in Mexico will become a thing of the past later on this year. Mexico President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has announced that in a matter of less than 2 weeks, he has announced, that's great. He will announce, let me give myself one of these. Why not? He will announce a proposal to eliminate daylight savings and the logistics of a poll that will allow for the creation of a decree to return to, and I quote, God's schedule. López Obrador says this will be a poll and not a popular consult done through Mexico's Electoral Institute, as in the past. because apparently whenever he goes through the Electoral Institute, they want a lot of money to do these things. So the bottom line seems to be that daylight savings will be gone through a decree, but a poll will take place just to back it up. Aside from the whatever implications that we may have for the loss of daylight savings in Mexico, some of you may know or not know that a lot of Spanish speaking locals use daylight savings to remind ourselves that it is a good time to take deworming pills. That's right. It is one of those rite of passages. A lot of people take deworming pills twice a year just to make sure that the stomach is behaving as it should. It's not something that everybody does, nor is it something that everybody should do, and certainly not something that you should do without medical supervision. But when you need to be reminded to do this every 6 months, daylight saving seems like a good time to do it. And that's when I've done it. So I don't know exactly what is going to be my reminder. Maybe Luna will be my reminder. Anyhow, moving right along, water shortages continue through the city, even in places like Gaviotas, according to this news note, where apparently the neighborhood has not experienced water shortages in 40 years. Good thing that they're not Pitillal, because Pitillal seems to be suffering from water shortages all the time. So if you live in Gaviotas and you are experiencing low water pressure, just know that you're not alone, and hopefully your water pressure will be restored sometime in the future. We know that our friends, well, not our friends, but the nice people at Zapal are constantly working on improving their systems. When it comes to starting a new project, oftentimes you have to start from scratch, and this is exactly what happened with the very first ever gay pride parade in Bahía de Banderas. It took place last night in the streets of the town of San Jose del Valle, where some 200 people congregated to march together for equality. How fun. Small town gay pride. I love it. Further north, Rincón de Guayabitos will celebrate their second gay pride parade ever on Saturday, July 2nd. I remember when they first announced. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, and I don't even remember if they skipped a year or not during the pandemic. For that matter, the last 2 years are a little bit hazy in my memory. But it's nice to see that these events are taking place. What else do we have? Oh, yes, 26-year-old Katia Echazarreta, an American citizen that was born in the state of Jalisco, became the first Mexican-born female astronaut this morning. Earlier this morning, I posted the link on Facebook to the live launch, which took place successfully, along with the landing. That's right, she already came and went. It was one of those, and it was over in a matter of an hour or so. I will share the link in case you want to visit it and watch it later on today while you're doing your chores or whatever. Katia Echazarreta is not only from the state of Jalisco, she's not only a Mexican-born young woman of 26 years of age, she's also the youngest American astronaut ever to participate in such a mission. Let us now move over to the weather just to see what's going out there. To see what's going on out there. I forgot a preposition there. It's perfectly nice out right now. It's perfectly nice out right now, yes, because revenge is a dish best served cold. Well, it's not so cold here. It's 25 degrees, feels like 28. Humidity is very high, 87%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 76 degrees. Our weather forecast for today says humid and partly cloudy with a high of 29 and a low of 22. Sunday, tomorrow, will be humid and partly cloudy with a high of 29 and a low of 22, same thing as today. And Monday, we will have exactly the same features, humid and partly cloudy through the day with a high of 29 and a low of 22. That said, I did catch this article. Where is it? Here it is. boom. According to this news note, a low pressure system that will result in heavy rain is moving into Banderas Bay and should reach us in a matter of 3 days. I will believe it when I see it because it would be so nice to have more rain so that the weather can stay a little bit more balanced, and more importantly, so that the mountains and the trees get a nice kick back to life. And speaking of mountains and trees and life, apparently it is tlacuache mating season, so you can expect more of these little critters hanging out in your backyard as they roam around in search of mates. And for those of you that don't know what they are, a tlacuache or opossum is the only marsupial endemic to the Americas. And having been around for roughly 20 million years, they are frequently considered to be living fossils. Their Spanish name comes from the Nahuatl word tlacuatzin, which means little fire-eating creature. I've never seen a tlacuache eat fire, but hey, that's what the Aztec people used to call them. They are typically non-aggressive, but their teeth are very sharp, and a bite from a tlacuache can result in infections and wounds. So the best thing to do if you encounter one is to leave it alone, is to call 911 so the appropriate authorities can then retrieve it and return it to a more appropriate habitat. Moving right along, Gina from Whiskey Kitchen sent me this reminder earlier today to remind you of a special fundraising brunch taking place at the Versailles location today for local singer Bobby, who is raising funds for her first ever tour through Canada. I have never heard Bobby sing, but I understand that she has quite a following. So while I cannot personally recommend her music, I can certainly speak highly of Gina's menu because I've eaten at Whiskey Kitchen a number of times. And since Gina took the trouble of letting me know that this was happening, I am happy to share the information with you. And speaking of, as we mentioned the other day, Gina wants to open her doors to the LGBTQ population in a more organized way by producing special get-togethers. I encourage her to do that because I like the place, and I've hung around Whiskey Kitchen the other day, and well, several times with gay friends and gay and lesbian friends, as a matter of fact. So it seems like a great place to do it. So I volunteered to help promote this. So this is a Coffee and Headlines event in a sense that I'm lending a helping hand with her promotional efforts to get the ball rolling. But ultimately, and of course, it is up to Gina and her wonderful staff to provide the space, the welcoming atmosphere, and the wonderful food and drinks for the idea to stick. In the meantime, the first one that is going to take place is going to be on Thursday, June 16, from 7 to 9. We are in the process of developing promotional stuff so that Gina can publicize it on her Facebook page and so that you know. But mark the calendar. This will be a great opportunity for the LGBTQ members of our cluster and anybody else that feels comfortable among gay folk to get together at Whiskey Kitchen. So there you have it. Let's see, what else do we have? I have a follow-up on Talpa de Allende. As you know, I mentioned Talpa not too long ago, and you expressed enthusiasm about it. Then I thought I could get there by bus, but then found out that the bus takes forever. Well, not forever, but it takes 4 hours approximately. So I persevered, got a group of lovely friends of mine, and long story short, we contacted my tocayo, Francisco, who has a van, and he gave us a great quote. For 5,000 pesos, 8 of us are going to go to Talpa and come back on the same day. The amount, when properly divided by 8, is a little higher than the round trip by bus, but ultimately we're going on our own vehicle. We're getting picked up and dropped off, and of course we can bring whatever boozy drinks we want to drink along the way, and we can make stops if we so desire. So what does it mean for Coffee and Headlines? Well, it means just as what we did in Guadalajara. I'll bring back photos and videos of all the things you should consider if you want to go to Talpa, how to get there, how not to get there, what to do once you get there, and so forth and so on. Talpa, as you know, is one of the pueblos mágicos here in the state of Jalisco, and it is also the second most important religious destination in all of Mexico. And it's a cute little town. It's about 2.5 hours away from Puerto Vallarta by car, maybe a little bit longer if you drive slowly. And it's a town where I haven't been in several years, so it'll be fun to go back and check it out. Last but not least, and totally unrelated to coffee and headlines, I have an earworm for you. Can you believe it's been 10 years since Gangnam Style? The song and its music video were launched back in July 2012 and went viral 2 months later and have influenced popular culture worldwide. Even Madonna was seen dancing the Gangnam Style in an award ceremony, if I recall. And whatever happened to the singer, it was a one-hit wonder. But there you have it. So, walking Gangnam Style, just sing it all day long until your ears hurt. And now, let me take a quick look at your comments for today, which is always fun to read. I love the mini weather reports that you share with us, like it's gray and drizzly in Mississippi River. It's raining in Portland, Oregon. This is not a weather report, but Albert, who I recall shared with us, he was going on a canoe trip at some point in the future, has started training. And a good thing that you are, Albert, because we get to us. I forget how old you are. Maybe I don't even know how old you are, but I know that my body gets to a certain place, or has gotten to a certain place, in which if I don't prepare for physical exercise, it could be damaging. Let's see what else we have. Betsy says bright and sunny as of an hour ago. Wonderful. I answered the shoulder question. I love it. Kate says, I am late. What have I missed? Well, not much, Kate, but if I recall correctly, yes, it was just yesterday that we announced that we now have a rewind button, or there should be somewhere in the way you experience Coffee and Headlines through Facebook. There should be some kind of rewind button that you can activate if you wish to go there. If not, you can always rewatch the playback later on today. Then I see comments about standard time. Oh, Cleveland, Ohio, celebrating Pride today. Well, happy Pride. I love it. Could I repeat the name of the Mexican Butterfingers? I've forgotten. Do you mind if I run over to the kitchen and get one? Because, oh no, actually, let me look it up, Matthew. I don't remember what the name is because, and I don't think I have, it'll take me a little while to get them from the freezer. I used to keep them out, but I realized with the increasing humidity, they are getting a little sticky. So let me look them up. Or rather, give me a second to go into the refrigerator and get one out, and I will add it to the show notes. Here are some comments about Bobby's voice. Thank you, Michal. Bobby has a great voice. Excellent. Let's see. Ay, cosita. Our daughter opened up her garbage can in San Diego and had an opossum jump right into her arms. I don't know if that is endearing or truly, truly spooky. But I'm glad it hasn't happened to me. No offense. Possums are our very good friends as they eat millions of ticks, so treat them with kindness. And another comment in support of opossums. Again, I've never dealt with one up close. I've seen them out and about, but I've never had personal encounters with opossums. Maggie says that they're awesome. I think all creatures are awesome. Let's see. I usually trap and rehome because they dig in my flower beds and planters. There you go. And thank you, Mateo, for a recommendation of Francisco, my Tocayo driver. He is an amazing driver, and he has several vehicles at his disposal for any kind of special transportation needs that you may have. So whenever somebody has something that needs to go from one place to another, I'm always happy to recommend him. Mark has a question. Is the members only broadcast happening this afternoon? Yes, it is. If you are a member of Coffee and Headlines, you should have received a notice, and it will happen at 2 o'clock local time. This will be a chance for us to connect with one another and to learn a little bit more of each other. And we usually have them whenever there's something really fun or exciting to share, or have them just to give some continuity to the appreciation we'd like to share to our members, or whenever there's been, a shit show and some things need to be clarified. And for this particular one, there's a little bit of everything. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. The name of the Mexican chocolates is the Mexican Butterfinger candies, hard candies, is Dami. Dami, that's what they're called. What else? I think we are pretty much at the end of today. There's a question. Does Francisco have a Facebook page? You know what, Colleen? I don't know that he does, but I have his business card, and I'm happy to share his information. In fact, I'll share it on the show notes today. Spencer asks, on Facebook for members, correct? That is not correct. For those of you that are new members, let me explain very briefly. When you contribute to Coffee and Headlines, you can do so in two ways. Number one, you can choose to buy coffees. One coffee is $3 American. You can choose to buy coffees, as many as you want, as frequently as you want. That makes you a contributor. Or you can choose to pursue a monthly or yearly membership, and that makes you a member. All of our members only, or members and contributors only, broadcasts happen on YouTube, because YouTube allows us to share unlisted broadcasts. Why would we create unlisted broadcasts? Well, because we want to give members and subscribers a little bit of an extra bit of appreciation and content that people that choose not to invest in Coffee and Headlines or support Coffee and Headlines can get. So what have we done with that? We have done two kinds of things. One has been members only, which has been precisely for members only. We've done a couple of them. We've done a few interviews, and that's the kind of content that you get. And we have also done the Guadalajara special, and the Guadalajara special was available for members and for supporters as well, because ultimately it is thanks to your membership and support that we were able to go to Guadalajara. And when we come back from Talpa de Allende, we'll do the same thing. So if you are a member, you should have received an email message with all the particulars on where to click and where to go. Oh, and another particularity of our members meetings is that I invite members to come onto the broadcast as interviewees so that we can get to know you a little bit better. So that's what goes on in the members only get-togethers. And I hope I answered your question properly. Let's see. Oh, I love it. Paula says, members helping members. Could someone from the cluster help me with a question about bucerias? Just PM me. Paula, unless it's something that you want to keep to yourself, always feel welcome to share something publicly as well. I want to make sure that you know that is also an option. For that matter, I remember that somebody told me recently, or asked me recently, about immigration lawyers and being a Mexican national. I don't know who they are, but that's the beauty of answering or of posting your questions publicly, because chances are that a lot of you have answers that I don't have. And to me, that's the beauty of getting together. Anyhow, this is what we have for today. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope You have a wonderful time. If you choose to go to Whiskey Kitchen, I'm going to drop by in a little while just to check it out. And if you choose to go to the Saturdays at the museum, chances are we're going to meet there as well. That's later on tonight. Anyhow, great weekend. I will be so very happy to meet with you again sometime soon. And if you remember, to see you today at 2 p.m. local time. And between now and then, just stay happy, stay kind, and don't schwitz too much because of the humidity. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.